All right, guys. This is my first ever episode of the Get the Job Done podcast. We got the two Scarlotta brothers with us.
Yo,
Appreciate you guys popping out, man.
Yo,
This is
yo.
great.
Thanks for having us, man. It's good to be here.
Appreciate you. First episode. Let's
course.
do it, man.
So, yeah, these guys came all the way out from Staten Island. How long did it take you guys to get here?
Two and a half.
2.5 hours.
Fucking
A little
hell.
bit of traffic, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So if you guys don't know, the Scarlotta brothers, they started off with TikTok, and I believe your video went viral first, right?
Not his first.
His first. It was a Mariners, right? Seattle Mariners.
Oh, that was mine. That one.
That was yours.
Mariners,
Yeah, yeah, but he was.
a bunch of different videos, but we both, pretty much at the same time, man. It's been pretty sick so far.
So you guys been doing this for what, a year and a half now?
Yeah, well, he's been doing it for 2 years. I started a little later, about 8 months later.
Okay.
And after that, consistently together, the last year and a half, it's been and we just.
But I would say more or less the last year we've been really at it.
Yeah,
right.
probably
We've
the
been
first,
consistent the last year.
Yeah,
Right.
Definitely.
It's been
So-
a big last year.
So who was your inspiration, getting into shooting videos and making content?
Honestly, it's a good question, man. When we used to be into Vines, we actually used to make Vines. Had a little bit of a following in Vine back in the day, and it was just a cool thing. We thought it was just always something cool, but just who we are as characters ourselves. So we just portray them and put it out there one day, and getting good responses and goodwill from it.
Yeah, well, we're big fans of movies, films, all that stuff.
What's up?
And this stuff is just you get to be creative and create stuff, so it's just really fun to do.
Yeah.
love
So how was it, growing up in an Italian household in Staten Island? I grew up on Long Island, so how was it, in Staten Island growing up?
It's a
Is
good
it
one, right?
It's definitely different.
Yeah, it's cool. It's Staten Island's some areas suburban, some this and that. But yeah, Staten Island's cool. It's two hardworking parents we come from. It's just us two, the only two siblings.
Right.
And we work hard and always learn the value of working hard and shit. And that's that, right?
We've been about a year, man. And it was Staten Island's definitely a unique place, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had guys, like Pete Davidson,
Yeah, a lot of
who
people
also
come
grew
from
up there.
man. Yeah.
You know?
It's definitely very
So was he
unique,
the biggest guy, Pete Davidson, probably?
He's probably the most known right now. There's
Right.
a lot of people who can Method Man, Wu-Tang Clan.
Right.
Shout out to them.
And also CJ the rapper, right?
Yeah, we know CJ.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We do. We know
I mean,
CJ.
that song Whoopty was, going viral for how many months?
Yeah,
3
that's
months.
a gold record. It's top 5, 10 record in the country.
CJ's
Yeah.
It's a boy
he's a
right
friend
there.
of ours. Yeah.
So he grew up where from you guys?
CJ grew up.
15 minutes.
We didn't grow up near each other.
Okay.
Me and Nicky actually used to make music, and we have a few songs with CJ, ironically.
Really?
And
Wow.
we were making songs together in 2017 together, and
Yeah.
to this day,
Yeah, we
wish
had
us
made
that,
sessions
yeah.
with CJ. He's. I'm very, very happy for him and his
he's the man.
success.
I can't say.
What was the last time you
good
guys hung out with him?
enough. I haven't seen CJ in probably 3 years.
3
Yeah,
years.
it's been a minute.
Wow.
Probably 3 years.
Yeah.
But he wished me a happy birthday on Instagram on my post. I know
That's what's
yeah.
up. Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a
That's
minute.
cool.
Yeah,
But,
he seems like a pretty,
oh, yeah,
nice
he's-
guy,
He's doing his thing, man.
And it's
Can't
cool
say
too
enough
because
good
it's
things.
we're doing these videos and stuff, and a lot of our new followers, especially we gained over the last year, 2 years, they don't even know we do music. So we haven't even tapped into
Right.
that yet.
Yeah, you guys
so
do
eventually
everything.
we're gonna get back
It's
into
like-
that road too.
yeah.
Renaissance
Definitely.
people.
That's why I can, relate to you guys because that's like me growing up. Like I try everything.
Yeah,
And I'm at the
dude.
point where I'm at now. High school I was always trying different stuff. Starting side hustles, power washing, leaf cleanups, like you name it. And that's like you guys too. You guys are fighting. You guys are shooting videos.
Yeah, man, definitely.
know?
You gotta try everything because you got one life, bro. It's short. It's
Yeah.
might as well just try some shit.
You got nothing to lose, right? Yeah.
You need-
What do you got to lose? You got to grab your balls sometimes.
You
know?
do. I mean, it's like
It's all about growing up.
At the end of the day, it's like, could you live with yourself 20 years later, saying oh, I wish I went for something?
Yeah.
I can't live with myself like that. That's why we do outlandish things and are in this field that we're in because we get to be creative and be in a business where we get paid for our creativity and are known for it. So it's pretty awesome. And
Exactly.
we want to take it to the next level.
Yeah,
That's what we want
exactly. I don't know if you guys. You guys have probably seen the video with David Goggins. He was like, one day you're gonna die, and then, you're gonna get to heaven. God's gonna be like, this is how you should have been like. So that's what scares me a lot. So I'm like, that's why I'm trying different things. Because what if I get there? This is actually true. Like, what if God's like, you were supposed to be shooting a podcast, you were supposed to be playing baseball in college. I'm trying to play club baseball now. So it's like.
Exactly.
You just gotta do what you're supposed to do. Wake up every day, do what you're supposed to do. That's it. It doesn't matter how you feel, Just get the job done, pretty much.
Yeah, bro. You gotta do what you want, man.
Yeah. All right. So, if you guys had to pick, what's your favorite, Italian pastry
That is a hard
or dish? Let's do both, dish and pastry.
So we'll do pastry last.
Okay,
Dessert.
go ahead, yeah.
So we'll do a dish first. Do it's a pasta excluded from the chicken, the veal, and the. You know what I mean? You got
Dish is
a
tough,
pasta
man,
dish.
too, man.
I'm going with the veal parm, man.
I mean, it's yeah,
Chicken
it's
parm or
classic.
veal parm? You can't go wrong.
Can't. There's just favorite dish ever. I have too many. I can't even narrow it down to 5.
Same with me, yeah.
I have too many.
I mean-
Not even just Italian. Anything.
A nice eggplant stack is always good.
What about pastry? You gotta go with
Sfogliata.
cannolis, right?
No, my favorite is a good sfogliata.
That's good.
Yeah.
A good
Lobster,
good,
lobster
yeah.
tail too.
Yeah.
I like lobster tail. I don't think it's Italian, but the 7-layer fucking pastry with the chocolate and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. It's fucking ridiculous.
I gotta go with the freaking cannoli, man. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you also can't go wrong with a good fucking
But a good
cannoli.
one,
It's like
yeah.
the
With
greatest
a
thing
good
of all
one,
time.
yeah.
I can actually later. I think there's actually cannolis at the house in my refrigerator.
Oh, you
I
gotta
might
get
grab,
those.
yeah, when I
On
get
the
home.
dessert topic, like I fucking love like banana pudding,
Yeah.
icebox cake,
rice pudding.
the banana pudding and Milano's.
Who's a better cook? You guys usually cook, or you just
I
let your
mean, we're
parents
not
do the work?
like. I mean, we could both like do some shit, but I've been like
Grill and shit, but like my dad's like the cook type shit.
the cook quick.
We're trying to learn though. Like
Okay.
we probably try to
So
learn
am I,
a little
man.
more.
Do some
Yeah.
shit.
But, like
We should do like a
go
fucking
there.
cooking class maybe one day.
Imagine.
I'd be down.
That'd be sick.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
One that we
I'll
watch
pull
that.
up to Staten Island.
Yeah,
you know,
my dad's
fucking
always
do
just
it.
been like the sickest chef ever.
Yeah.
And it's like finally he's been cooking up these meals for years, and it's like we finally started recording. Like people have to see this, you know.
Yeah.
And he was never like a chef or anything. Like he's always been like in the union and stuff.
Mhm.
But my grandma taught him how to cook, and like it comes naturally to him.
Yeah.
And we're working on a cookbook with him, actually, hopefully coming soon. You know, that's been an idea floating around that we're trying to do.
That's what's up.
You know, his own YouTube channel.
That's
and
really
shit,
cool.
So,
Yeah. No, I bet.
People they're
So
dying
much
to have a
talent,
cooking
bro.
class or
And-
see
yeah.
something of my dad's in the kitchen. He's such a world class like talent with that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I go out to
It's-
eat so
That's
much.
like my
more,
dad
man.
too. Like
Yeah.
my mom doesn't really like to cook, but my dad, he's always liked to cook. You know?
Yeah.
He grew up in an
Yeah.
Italian household. His mom was German.
An old saying is men make the best cook. I don't want to just say that out there, but like it's an old saying.
You went full Pacino and Johnny Brasco?
That's who that was it, right?
Lefty,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But
I thought that was Gordon Ramsay for some reason. you said
but
it.
it's crazy though because I go out to eat. We all do, even when we all go as a family. Us even personally, or by myself. And I'm never as pleased as like with the food when you go out. When
Yeah.
my dad cooks, like his food is like
Yeah, go
legit
on, yeah.
top notch, like
Yeah.
top whatever.
Well, the problem with the restaurants is they have salt. They have salt in all the food.
problem
with
So
fucking
it's not really healthy. Man.
The problem
It really
with
isn't.
Too,
Yeah.
The problem is in New York, especially, is the massive oversaturation of the Italian restaurants,
Yeah.
especially
Especially in Staten Island. You'll see
Yeah.
if you see bro, Staten
It's,
Island.
it's probably every corner.
You'll make
right?
like
Yeah,
how
too
do you
much.
how do you think you're gonna do more than just like barely get by when there's 4 restaurants like that in the same neighborhood?
Well, I mean, that's like us on Long Island. You have a 7-Eleven every. You look left, there's a 7-Eleven. You look right, there's a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Like it's so oversaturated. You know.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like the same thing with you guys with restaurants, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
man, it's-
That's
so
what's up.
many things.
So what'd you guys do growing up? You played baseball, right? I remember you guys.
Yeah,
saying
we
baseball,
played
football,
baseball, football, basketball.
judo,
we
wrestling.
did judo, we
Nice.
wrestled.
Did pretty
boxed.
much everything, yeah.
Yeah,
So you
we
guys
did
were well,
everything.
you guys were well rounded, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know?
try to like every like
So-
you gotta do like fuck it, bro. You gotta like I said before, you gotta try some shit out. Why the fuck not, man?
Yeah. You got nothing to
That's when
lose.
you're
At the end of the
young,
day, you
man.
got nothing to lose. Think about it.
And certain people.
If anything, there's regret.
Yeah, the only regret comes when you stop trying certain shit. You gotta keep
Exactly.
trying shit.
Yeah.
Because you never know, bro. You could be bad at a million things. The next thing after, if you wouldn't have quit, you wouldn't have tried it, you wouldn't have fucking found success in it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So who was like your inspiration
Shovel
growing up?
through the shit. Shovel through the shit. Inspiration growing up.
Yeah.
So many in so many different lanes.
Like was it your dad? Was it Derek Jeter? You know, like
Love my dad. I love Derek Jeter. I don't know. I can't even. There's so many in different aspects of life when you're growing up.
that's like me too. Like you just have to like
Depends
one
what field you were in, what stage in your life you were in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the comedic sense, it's like I like to model my style off of certain people,
right.
like
That makes
Andy
sense,
Dice
though,
Clay or Sebastian
You
Maniscalco.
kind of like a dad.
yeah. You use what people have already done successfully, put your own twist on it. Now it's just
Right.
style.
Yeah.
True.
That makes sense. What about you? Kind of like the same
Yeah,
gist.
same.
All right, so we're gonna lit up some cigars. we got
Yeah,
a lot of options here. We got options, you know.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna kick it off for you right now. Right? We're doing a
Little Romeo.
Nicaragua.
I like a little Romeo.
I got a lot of these cigars from my grad parties I go to.
Smell good, man. West side. Good?
Yep.
Thank you for the cigar, sir.
Yeah, of course. Well, how's it gonna be for the win? All right, so what do you guys think about the Bud Light situation?
I mean, the whole fucking thing is pretty much fucked. I don't know what they were trying to do. Just sell the fucking beer.
Did you pass me that lighter?
Just sell the beer. You don't gotta get. Why do people gotta get weird?
I don't know. So what's it called? I was at a christening, right? And I'm drinking Stella.
This is
My
a
buddy-
lighter?
Yeah, you gotta open the top.
Yeah,
Can I
use this
push this
one.
button right
This
here?
one's
This
better. Not this one. Yeah, so I was at a christening, and what's it called? So I was drinking Stella, right? My buddy, I'm on FaceTime with him, and he's like, "Dude, like, why are you drinking Stella?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It's connected to Bud Light." I'm like, "Dude, like, I can't do this."
Too much into it.
Like,
now.
dude, like, Bud Light, you know, you saw like that. That's a perfect example of, you know, shoving something in somebody's face. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. If you shove something like that in somebody's face, you know, they're gonna boycott it at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so
I
what,
mean,
so
good
what,
cigar.
what do you
Too
guys,
much,
what do you guys
bro.
think about that?
It's a good cigar.
He's a good cigar.
Yeah, it is a good cigar. I think it's just too much, bro. I think they gotta just chill the fuck out. You know? I think everybody knows what the fuck's going on. You don't need to. Everybody's doing too much.
Yeah.
Let me just drink a fucking beer. You know what I mean? I don't need to fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See shit like that if I want to. You know what I mean? Just it's forced for no reason.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
He's like, good cigar. Yeah.
Nah, this is good.
But
Good flavor.
yeah, I mean, they're down 30%, you know,
Yeah, man.
in revenue. So
I'm gonna listen.
think it
I
speaks for
drink Miller
itself.
Lights, bro. I drink Miller.
So you
People could be
drink
like, oh,
Miller?
light beer. Like,
Miller Lights
I
are
drink
shit.
Miller Lights, bro. That's my shit. Like,
Yeah. I mean, now Coors Light's the move.
I'm not
Everyone's
one
like,
of
yo,
those,
you
yeah.
gotta drink Coors. I'm
I'm
like,
not-
bro, like, I just want to
Nah,
drink what I want.
yeah.
Coors Light, drink a
Like, what the
banquet.
fuck?
I actually had a banquet last night. Banquet Coors Light?
Yeah.
Good shit.
I mean, dude, with Bud Light, you know, you saw it at hockey games, NFL games, and all of a sudden they throw this bullshit at you, and then they wonder
Yeah.
why, you know, stuff happens.
You know what it is too? It's like,
They got what they deserve, put it that way.
yeah.
You know?
I'm not one of those kids like, I go out, I drink a couple of beers. There's these kids like the fitness freaks that like, I gotta drink tequila straight up because I can't have any like carbs. Like,
I
fuck
mean,
off,
shut
drink
the
a
fuck
couple of
up.
fucking
Yeah.
beers, alright?
Yeah. How about you can it?
Tequila.
A few shots of
Tequila's
tequila.
good. I
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but like,
Giggle
like,
roll.
come on, have
I
some
love
fucking
tequila,
beers.
but
You,
still,
you gotta
it's
live,
fun.
you know. Like, dude, don't get me wrong. I work out too. You know, I try
Yeah.
to stay in good shape.
Yeah.
You know, I take it serious, but
Yeah, yeah.
dude, you gotta live. You know.
Bro, you see the way we fucking eat.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're still in somewhat fitness shape is remarkable because we bust our ass in the gym all the time. Even if it's
Shit,
oh
man.
god.
The thing though, this summer I just been eating whatever the fuck I want. I'm
Yeah.
170 right now. Last year, I was 150 this time. So I'm up 20 pounds. You know, muscle and a little bit of fat. You know, I got a little gut. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But a girl's never told me that I was fat, so it's like I don't really give a
The
shit.
gut is very hard to shave. That's for sure. Even for us right now.
Yeah.
Very fucking hard.
Exactly. Yo, so let me ask you guys.
With the bread and
What was like your stupidest like purchase ever? 'Cause I have some dumb purchases. I'm not gonna lie. Like I save a lot of my money, but dude, like when I spend like I buy some stupid shit. Like
Yeah.
good stuff, but you know it's like
What was-
unnecessary.
What was your worst?
What's mine?
Yeah.
So December, right? It was Christmas time. I was like, all right, I gotta treat myself. So I went on. I forgot what website it was. I got some. I got MCM belt.
Okay.
I got this Versace shirt that was on the pre-order, so it was only 160, usually 275. Nice white one. It's got Versace on the middle. So I was like, all right, I'll get this. And I work hard for my money, so you know I buy nice things. I like to.
You're entitled to.
And then you know I saw the underwear, and it was Dolce & Gabbana, one of my favorite brands. You know, they had the Italian logo in the middle, so I was like, dude, this shit's pretty fire. It's like quantity 3, right?
Yeah.
I get it in the mail. There's only one pair. So like, bro,
They charge you for three?
I dropped $75 on a pair of underwear.
They charge you for 3.
Yeah,
Fuck.
So I was
They
like-
fucking finessed you, man.
yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much, I got finessed, I guess, right?
It's fucked
I mean,
up.
a girl did compliment me, so I was like, all right, I guess it was worth it. I was like, yeah, not too bad. yeah.
Listen, it's I mean, I
Whatever.
better get a compliment for $75.
I never got a
so
compliment
yeah,
for underwear, so it's like, all right, I guess it was worth
Yeah.
it.
Take it when you can get it.
Mm-hmm. So also, what's your guys' thoughts of the Adam 22 situation? I think it's fucking. I think it's nuts, but you can't.
I personally would never do some shit like that. I would never be with somebody who's doing some shit like that. But whatever
Yeah.
they're doing, they're doing. It's their
Listen, I
life.
guess the girl's making her money or whatever.
You guys think it's all for like just the money and views? But
Yeah.
probably,
I
right?
mean, what else would it be for at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But,
I mean, bro, he bought Atlanta a Lamborghini.
They're making
After
that
that,
money.
you know?
Yeah, they're making
So
that
it's like
money. Can't
it's
knock
all
the
it's all
hustle.
for show. You can't like the guy's a cuck. At the end of the day, you know, his wife just got banged by some other guy, but at the end of the day, he's good at marketing. You know, he got the views, he got the money. That's probably all he cares about. Think about it. Doesn't really give a shit what we
I
think
feel like
about him, you know?
Adam, 22, yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I feel like he's like very though immature for his age. You know what I mean?
He's part of that industry though. You can't really be surprised, you know.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
I'm
but
not
it is
surprised.
what
Some
it
people are
is.
surprised,
Doing
but
his
bro,
thing.
like he's having 3 sons. Like you don't think she wants to get something too? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It goes both ways. I feel like.
Yeah, it's very true. Nut situation to be involved in.
Seems like some pretty cool people, but
Yeah.
definitely a weird little situation going on there.
Yeah. No, I know. But you guys like to gamble?
Nah, I
You
don't
guys go to the casino? What do you guys
I mean,
usually
when,
do?
um,
Like when you guys aren't working,
So
like, what do you
were
guys like
in,
to do?
we was in Boston a few weeks ago, and we were playing a lot of. I don't really gamble. We were in a casino. I was playing roulette, and I just kept going on Reddit. Won a lot the first night, and if I would have stood on the street for those after those 3,
Oh, you were killing
we
it
would have had
with
8
that
straight.
number.
But
Yeah.
we went back, but I'm not big into that. But I'll tell you what, roulette's fun, man.
Yeah, we're gamble if
It
we
is.
play like a slot or a number at the casino, but we're not gamblers.
I
Yeah.
don't really do that. Like
Not a fan of that.
a lot of people have FanDuel, they're betting every day. Like that's
Yeah.
I think it's a dumb habit.
My dad's buddy would go into the casino, right? And he would be like, all right, it's either I'm gonna have a good or bad night, and he would just put a fucking rack on freaking black. And then if he lost it all, he was like, all right, it's gonna be a bad night. You know, that's just how people are, I guess. I don't know.
Legendary.
I'm not really a big gambler myself, but I was just curious, you know, if you guys were.
Yes.
No, yeah, I'm
Here
not,
and there,
I'm
it's
not the
fun.
biggest fan. I'll hit a casino
Yeah,
up.
'cause we have one 5 minutes away.
Like for big
Oh,
events,
fire.
like the Super Bowl, for fucking big fights.
Yeah,
and
shit like that. It's cool. It makes it more exciting.
Yeah.
But
Like this
honestly,
Saturday.
You guys
Don't
from
miss
sports
out.
pretty much, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this Saturday, I'm gonna probably put in a nice little parlay. Because the card, the UFC card is fucking stacked, and you got what is it? Is it Spencer Crawford?
Spencer Crawford and then
Spencer
Poirier,
Crawford, right?
Gaethje, UFC.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to a UFC fight? I'm still trying to
Yeah, I
go.
went to a
Yeah.
bunch.
I haven't been to one yet.
I went
went
to
to one.
I went to Usman, Covington too.
Did you?
Both of us at the Garden, and I just went to Aljamain and Cejudo at the Prudential Center.
I'm so mad I didn't get to go to that one.
Yeah, that was fire.
I want to go. We should all go.
Fucking
whenever
I
we
met
can.
Sean O'Malley there.
I saw that on your
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sean.
I did see that.
We
Yeah.
train. We're big. Me and Nicky are big into fighting. Like we've been fighting forever.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's like
that's what's up.
we're we follow the sport tremendously.
Yeah. No, it's dope.
It's good to train.
Shout out to Matt Favola. You know Matt Favola?
Yes,
He's from Long
bro.
Island. He trains out of law with Al joined them. Shout out my boy Matt. Showing always a lot of love to me and Nicky. He's just came off a win against Drew Dober.
Yeah.
Really?
We're gonna train with him soon. Mighty
Fucking
boy.
savage, man. We should have got later the 4th. Fucking,
Mhm.
we should have made it over. Couldn't make it over
Speaking
there.
on the 4th, bro, I want to.
Fucking late. We were somewhere
I gotta
else.
get the Michael Rubin's party one year, bro. That'd
Yeah,
be sick.
that's always the
Dude.
ultimate goal.
That's like, I feel like everybody's
It's the
goal is,
sickest party
you
of
know?
all time,
Yeah.
honestly, if you think about it.
All white, you know.
It's pretty
I
sick.
feel like we could do it one day. We could pull it off. Hopefully in the future, you know. 'Cause, yo, I would just be like, you guys would be getting hammered. I'd just be locking the podcast, guys. You know. I go up to Kim K, be like, yo, Kim, you wanna hop on the pod?
Fucking, I like the movie White Chicks. I grew up on that movie, and they were always in the Hamptons in that movie, and that made me always want to go to the Hamptons and just get wild.
Yeah.
And
No,
I
the
still
Hamptons
haven't done
can't
it. I
go
want to
wrong.
go to the Hamptons one weekend and just go nuts.
Is that like one of like your dream spots? Like when you
Yeah.
guys get some bread?
Yeah, most
For like once
Yeah.
or twice, I'm not probably gonna go out there. That
Having
much,
like a summer
but,
house,
like,
right? Out there?
I think it just
Not full time,
yeah,
obviously. It's
nah.
too much.
Just to
full-time.
even be out there, if I went for
Yeah.
like a week type fucking.
You imagine we all live on the same block in the future? That'd be sick.
Set, dude.
I walk out my house and smoke a cigar. I got the fucking Scarlottas across the street.
Yeah, you get nuts, man.
That'd be sick, man. No, that's all I tell my buddies all the time. It's like, bro, like once we have a house in the Hamptons, like that's when we know like we made it. You know, in life, I guess.
Just gotta be around like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Always. And you always gotta be elevated in the circle you're around.
Yeah.
Some friends you might outgrow, others, you know, you can see people at those levels that you want to get to and realize you're not
You
that much
gotta
different.
realize too, certain people, you see who your true friends are because like, some people are so happy when you're making moves, and then other
A lot of people are jealous,
Other
yeah.
people get like weirdly like envious. It's like
I think that's the thing with Long Island and Staten Island. Like there's a lot of jealous people. Bro. I'm not gonna lie.
There is. There's a lot
There's
of
a lot of people that
nobodies.
chirp. You
There's a
know,
lot because there's a lot of nobody.
I got a lot of chirps at me for no reason, bro. I don't go at anybody. I'm just doing my own thing. And they're like, yo, like you can't start a podcast. You know, I tried that 10 years ago and it didn't work. I'm like, well, it's gonna work for me. You know.
What I'm saying is, bro,
hopefully,
there's a lot of nobodies out here.
Yeah.
Either stop trying, never really tried.
Who the fuck is somebody to tell you that you can't
Yeah.
do something?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it didn't work for them, so they think it won't work for me.
Bro, the reality.
Or they're scared it's gonna work for me, and then, you know, that's why they don't want me to try it. They'll try it.
The reality. I remember when I
You know?
first made like a few TikToks. It was like a joke. I wasn't taking it seriously. I was making a few jokes.
You were getting chirped at.
No, friends of mine. I remember one friend was like, "Oh, TikTok, isn't that what like little kids are dancing on?" Like when I first made the video.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought. it
Fast
worked for me,
forward, like you know what I mean. What I was able to
I
turn.
know who that
something
is too.
Yeah.
yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if you're doing good,
Fast
people are
forward,
gonna
like,
say something. If you're
now
doing bad, they're still gonna say some shit.
Left to the bank.
You know what I'm saying? So either way, people are gonna, you know, talk trash to you.
Left to the
You just
fucking
can't-
bank.
you just
I've
can't-
been dealing with
I
it
love
all-
it too. I love
I've
it,
been dealing-
honestly. I
We've been
really do.
dealing with that our whole lives.
I love
that
it.
shit doesn't
Yeah.
please anybody. You know.
Same here. Yeah.
I don't really give
I'm
a
used
fuck.
to it too, so I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you can't care what other people
Most
say to
people
you.
are just jealous, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you can listen to what they say, but at the end of the day, you gotta do what's right for you.
I don't really care because it's not warranted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hate's not warranted. It's just there because there's certain people who do nothing with their lives but judge other people.
Yeah.
And it's
true.
fucking.
Think about it. If somebody has the
Always
time,
got something to say.
Oh,
No one's
of
never.
course, yeah.
Some people you gotta understand, bro. There's some people where it's like
They have
nothing's
to say
ever
something,
enough.
right? Yeah.
Nothing's ever good enough. They always have something to say. Those people are always gonna exist. And they're gonna be
They're
lonely.
always gonna be where they are. They're always gonna be miserable, doing whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. Always saying something about somebody else, you know, and always bringing the mood down. And he always awkward around them. It's like fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
there's
it's
always
weird.
people
I mean,
out
dude,
there
think
like
about it. If you
that,
have
man.
time to be in someone's commentating, what are you doing with your life? Like, get a fucking job.
And
You
a
know
lot
what I'm
of
saying?
people
It's
have
like-
an image of you from the past in their head, who you still are, and they didn't realize that you outgrew that person. You outgrew who you were 3 years ago, and you can't accept that you're just a different person now doing well for yourself.
Yeah.
It's corny. It's
That-
corny, but it's the way of life.
Have you guys, like, as you, like, you know, grew up in life, have you guys had to, like, cut people off or not?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, bro,
Absolutely, right? It's all, I feel like life is all about, like, who you surround your people with.
Yeah,
You know?
cut off
Like,
a lot of people.
If you're surrounded by millionaires, you could be a millionaire eventually.
Sometimes
You know,
it
you
takes,
gotta learn from that. Think about it.
sometimes it
Everybody
takes a
can't
while
go
for
up.
people to show
Yeah.
their true colors too. Sometimes people show their true colors fast. Sometimes it takes a while, and someone actually shows you their true fucking colors.
I pretty much learned, you know, I used to, like, somewhat cut people off, but, you know, I'm at the point now, it's just like, I'm not gonna cut them off completely. Like, I just won't put as much time as I used to towards them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I mean,
Because
you
at the,
gotta
at the end of the day, I want to be friends with everybody. I don't want,
Of course, you don't want any
that's some
enemies,
bullshit.
B, you don't want nothing
I don't
falling
want
out for no
And
reason.
my friend says, you know, keep your enemies closer,
Yeah,
which makes sense. You know,
In terms of cutting people
I just
off,
I just go with the flow. I want to be friends with everybody. I don't
Yeah.
I don't have time for that bullshit, bro. Honestly,
Yeah.
my phone's a do not disturb now. Like, I'm just trying to grind, bro. I don't really give a shit about that bullshit. You know,
so you could do.
I don't really care.
What else? You know, that's all you could do. That's all we all could do, is just grind, trying to make it fucking happen.
Things getting nice, huh?
Lights it
I
up.
gotta ash this. I should get ash. Right? I don't
I'm
know.
asking you a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Let's go flavor this fucking cigar.
So what are you guys really up to right now in your life? You know, you guys obviously started. And, you know, you guys do pretty good right now, I would say.
We're
Like,
trying,
what's
man.
what's next for you two?
A lot, man. There's so many things in the works, and it feels good to finally have the time to do it. We're still adjusting because we left our union jobs legit like about a month ago.
Yeah.
Which is like it's a hasty decision, obviously, if you look at it, right? But to really do this full time and to stop missing the opportunities that we missed, and to really accomplish what we really want to do, we needed to make the decision sooner or later. And
How was that
time to stop
feeling like?
wasting, you know?
That
I
must
mean,
have
it was the
been-
most liberating feeling ever, because you're working for yourself now.
You guys party that night or not?
Yeah, we went out.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, we got mixed reviews. Some people happy about the decision, some are, but nobody can tell you your decision was right or
Right.
wrong because they're not you.
What do your parents think about it?
Well, my
that's a real
mom,
thing.
they
Some
were
adjusting.
both, you know, was leaving the job my dad got me, so it was like, my dad was a little upset. We didn't want to. My dad and mom are extremely supportive,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
but he was a little upset because he got us the job, which he was right to be. But you know, it was just we got the job at the wrong point in our lives,
Yeah, that's what we
and
wanted.
life changed a lot in those 2 years. For the better. So it's like we can't apologize for becoming who we got to become.
And we tried
At the end of the day, you guys want to work for yourself.
That's
you
it.
know?
And we had the opportunity.
We tried to juggle it for so long that it really came to the point where we were just getting more and more busy, and it was just like, yo, we have to make a decision because it's like you can't do it both right now, you know, or you could do the both, but you're just gonna miss so much on this end right here,
Yeah.
you know, and then just think one day, what if I took it full throttle? Sometimes you just gotta fucking take it. And
You
just go.
guys just scared like you weren't gonna like do exactly what you wanted to do with life.
You know what it
Well,
was?
nah, it was
too?
the whole thing of like,
Or-
now you settle for the union, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but for the people who we want to be, and do this on the side, and then say you miss a window or whatever, you don't capitalize on what you could have done because you were loyal to that job, and now 30 years go by and you're getting your pension, and you're like, and now I'm like 65, what if I did take a shot and now I just retired, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that we want to set our shit up, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing is though, like the goal, at least for me, like I'm in college now, right? I'm going into my 3rd year, like I told you guys before. I feel like the goal for everybody in college should be like, I'm gonna work, you know, I want to work for myself. You know, that's how I thought my whole life. You know, I feel like everybody wants to work for themselves. But
100%.
also, there's nothing wrong with, you know, working for somebody else for 5, you know, maybe even 10 years to learn that skill and then use that to do your own thing.
But you have to have
That's what you guys
mentors.
pretty much did. You guys worked for somebody else, and now you're doing your own
You
thing.
have to have
which is
mentors.
great.
You have to learn from
yeah.
everybody, and you know
Exactly.
that's what that's
You
what
can't act like a
you
know-it-all.
Nah, you
You know,
can't. Yeah.
sometimes I act like a know-it-all too, but at the end of the day, it's not helping. You know?
Yeah, it just we forget sometimes as humans like how little we all know about everything, like you know, and just
Real
like
shit.
stop
Fucking
like
funny.
and like overcomplicating.
Yeah, bro, we have so
fucking
many bunnies back here. It's
Fucking
nuts.
funny.
I must see like 50 a day. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Crazy.
What were you saying before that though? Before the bunny?
Yeah, I mean, just being in college, like, you know, everybody's goal should be, you know, to work for themselves.
Sure.
Like,
People
I feel
wanna
like
put the
everybody should
work
have like
in,
their
though.
own like little business in college. You know, like if you're a girl, like start like a jewelry thing.
People
you know,
don't
do
wanna put
makeup,
the work
do
in,
hair.
though.
You know, if you're a guy, maybe like I started selling shoes. Like that's how this all started. I started selling shoes.
You gotta hustle in any way, shape,
So
or
we used
form.
to buy and sell shoes back in the day when we were like in middle school, and that
You
was
just gotta
like a
hustle at
big
the end of the day. It doesn't matter what it is. As
Any
long as
job
it's
you
legal.
can think of, me and him
why
fucking
not?
worked for, bro.
Yeah.
Any job you think of.
But we
me
got our
and
first
Nicky
job at like 11 at a barbershop sweeping hair, like
That's like me too. Yeah.
making like $5 an hour. Like,
And the thing,
teaches you about your own bread early though, so like,
Yeah.
you get to have that mindset from an early age.
right?
A lot of people don't have
yeah,
that.
got your old buddy now. Like, even though it was like at the time, at 11, 12 years old, $130 a week was fucking big money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I'm actually doing power washing and
Yeah.
painting right now.
Nice.
You know, and you know some jobs are making like 350, 500.
Wow,
It's not
very
consistent, but you know, hopefully eventually it'll be consistent. You know.
Yeah, man, but it's still
Fun.
good gig right there. Get away
Yeah,
you can.
definitely. Yeah. Exactly.
Straight
But
up.
you know, the thing with college, though, I feel like, and the problem like with our like generation, like you guys are 24, so we're actually all part of the same generation, Gen Z.
Yeah.
It's called. The problem in our generation is people say like if you don't go to college, like you're fucked, which is not true at all.
It's really not.
You know, because the people that are saying that are the people that can't start their own business. Let's be honest.
And it's-
Those are
it's
people
tough,
that have to
yeah.
rely on the 9-to-5 system.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen,
right?
yeah,
Am I wrong?
I think like college is for specific things. Like if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or like an engineer, or fucking whatever the fuck.
I say it all the time.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. But like if you're just going to college just to say, oh, I got a degree in
Yeah.
in this or that, like, and you don't even know why you got the degree, and now you're in debt for that. You have no money. You had to put yourself through that for fucking this.
Yep.
Now you got to come out struggling to get a job
Yeah.
and still be in debt.
It's all
Or you
networking,
can actually
all
gamble,
networking.
take risks, try new things,
Yeah.
and start your own businesses in real life.
I tell
people,
everybody that.
People don't realize life's about real life connections and real life experience and connections and interactions with people. It's not about what you read out of a fucking book. That's
Yeah.
some fucking dumbass professor told you at Wing B.
Yeah,
and
you
fucking-
gotta get
I mean,
figure out
dude, the
life
crazy
on its
thing
own.
is, too,
Life's
like
its
these
own teacher.
professors, like, you know, I was a business major, right? I still am in a way. That's like my minor now. You know, I'm doing communications, which is ironic because I'm taking public speaking next semester.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, it correlates with this, which is fucking weird. Like, it's all falling into place.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It helps you get more comfortable.
Right. Yeah. It's like, dude, like I was so nervous of switching my major, and then now it's like falling into place. I'm like, dude, like God wants me to like have a podcast.
And sometimes
now,
you can make
It's
a
kinda weird,
decision,
yeah.
right? You can make a decision, and like it might take a few months to even like have your life adjust to that decision. You might have to take some time to reflect and realize, soak it all in, and then attack.
Just gotta let it play out.
Yeah, you
right?
can't.
Just go with the
Things,
flow.
not everything can happen tomorrow.
Don't force anything.
Not
yeah.
everything can happen
Exactly.
tomorrow. Some moves gotta be made in like a couple months, you know.
That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to say. I'm like very, like both of us, like always getting, like we said before, bro, getting caught up in the future, not in the present.
Yeah.
Always thinking about the future, and it's good to an extent to obviously have shit set up, but you gotta not stress it to the point where you're like, you know, like getting to that level.
What do you guys think about like networking in college? I think that's like the main thing everybody should be doing.
I mean,
right?
it should be
Have
the number one priority.
How many
That's what I'm
people
saying,
you're
yeah.
around and with in the day?
Yeah.
Just everybody needs
I
to
I
realize.
value all my connections. Like if I see like in the gym, right? If someone's spotting me,
Yeah.
I literally, if I see potential in that person, I'll spark a conversation with them.
Yeah.
If I see like we have like similar like mindsets, their numbers going right in my contacts.
Yeah, because it can't hurt.
Right in my contacts.
Can't hurt.
Right in my contacts. Straight up.
Two people only learn from each other, man. You know,
Yeah.
you want to be around those people.
Happened 2 weeks ago, bro.
It's better to become friends with somebody you meet in a fucking gym than a bar. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. What's that gonna teach you? How to
Exactly,
drink?
exactly.
Yeah. Let me slam.
It's like
Let me teach you how to slam 12 Coronas.
Let me
tonight.
give you a little rundown of
Like,
Staten
give me
Island.
a break.
A lot of key people after like college or whatever, they do the short thing where they go down to Jersey, they get the house, no doubt. They do it for like 4 or 5 years, and you see them at these bars and shit. And a lot of them are like a little washed up. They're past their prime and they're just hanging on to the last
Yeah.
hoorah.
They got like
And it's
2 years left before they got to call it quits.
Yeah.
And that's that.
before they
That's
get
life.
before they go bold, join the union and pop a couple in there.
Yeah.
That's great.
But,
Um,
happens to the best of us.
yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
Other words of it.
that goes a long way with like being too like comfortable and arrogant
Absolutely.
too. You know, like dude, like you could have the best job in the world, you can get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, think about it. If you're late to your job, 1 minute late, that guy can fire you right on the spot.
That's why
You're
working
Nothing's
fucked.
permanent in life.
Working for
That's why you gotta
yourself so
keep growing.
cool,
Yeah.
man.
You gotta be humble. You
Gotta
know.
be humble.
Working for yourself, honestly, it's like
Yeah.
it's the obviously it's the most stressful thing because you're doing it on yourself for whatever your team.
Yeah.
But like it's the most rewarding, and for life, it's like to have that balance, bro. Because I realize like 90% of people don't have a work-life balance. They fucking work 90% of the time and don't fucking live, and they just don't know what to do, so they get blackout drunk on the weekends.
Yeah, that's not healthy
Fucking have
for you,
heart-to-hearts at bars,
Yeah.
do it again. Then a month passes, then a year, then fucking 10 years.
Yeah. No,
That's
no.
how it goes, bro. I'm telling you.
So where do you guys see yourself in like, 10 years or so? You guys see
10
yourself
years, I
still
see-
like shooting videos or like
No,
branching
I
out? You
see-
guys
I
see yourself
see
doing
it.
a fucking movie?
I
you
see
know,
it
like,
branching out
I can
a
see
lot.
I can see you guys doing movies, honestly.
We've
Right?
been
That's a goal, yeah.
working on writing
Definitely
some shit.
movies.
We're big into film, but I can see a lot of things being different in the best way possible in 10 years. Maybe I'm married. Fuck knows. I'm with
10
my
years,
girl
10
now.
years, 34. man.
34, yeah.
34. We're gonna be
I'll be
older,
I'll be
man.
30.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
be
right
older.
with you guys. Yeah.
30, 34. So 10 years, I'd like to probably be settling down
Yeah.
with my very happy about how the last 10 years played
Well,
out.
you got a girlfriend right now.
I have a girlfriend.
And you're single?
Yeah, but by then,
By then, yeah.
maybe. Who the fuck knows?
Now, when you guys were both, let me ask you, when you guys were both on a market, who was pulling more? Be honest.
I mean, it was a tight race.
You were
for-
saying it was neck and neck,
It
right?
was for a long time. It was neck and neck.
Yeah. Like, would you guys like be like D Wade and LeBron, just throw each other out
I would
loose in
say
the bar?
pretty much, no.
Right? You'd be like, yo, Jojo, here's an 8 right here, 8.5.
At the time,
Yeah. That's
the
what's up.
time was fun, man.
That's cool. It's too easy. You said it's too easy. How the girls in Staten Island? Pretty good? Not too bad?
Yeah, right.
We were,
A lot of them, you know what it is, bro? Every girl I feel like today's not like original. Every girl's
for
like,
sure, right?
they're all like made, try to be made bougie and
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, bro, like,
Got the
calm
implants,
the fuck
right?
down.
Yeah. Settle down.
My bad, I don't want to go to the city for a fucking brunch.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, fuck off.
I think you need a girl that like, goes to the gym, has something going for her. Bro, that girl that's getting trashed every weekend. I don't want that to be
I
my
want the girl who's always in a club. She's always in a club.
Yeah.
Can't have that, bro.
Can't have that.
The girls who don't know when to stop, or like not know, like 4 days in a row. That's enough.
See, bitch, on a
Like,
fucking
I don't mind a girl
Tuesday,
having fun. Don't
motherfucking,
get me wrong,
these
but-
girls will be drinking out in the city on a Tuesday at like 4 o'clock. It's like,
Listen,
what?
if you're
Oh, I
celebrating,
see it all the time. Yeah.
if you're winning on a day-to-day basis like
Then yeah,
that,
no
God
doubt.
bless you and celebrating it. But if you're just like
Down a-
spiraling,
down,
like that's a different story. You know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, 100%.
We all have our benders, everybody. But you gotta, yeah.
No,
Have you guys been drinking a lot this summer? Not really, right?
I was until I started like smoking again because I felt like drinking was fucking my stomach.
You smoke weed?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? You too?
Yeah, I started smoking again.
I try to not smoke. I just drink and smoke cigars.
So I'll
Yeah,
tell you this,
everyone
so-
has their preference, you know.
I got nothing against it though.
No,
you know?
yeah, I feel that. But
You just do your own thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's
the thing is, what's good about when I smoke pot is when you smoke pot, like it makes me not want to drink, and it makes me not fiend for like nicotine or cigarettes.
Right.
Which when I was in the union, I couldn't smoke. I was
You
drinking
guys
a
just
lot
rip
more.
Newports
I
probably on
was
the
ripping-
side. What do you guys?
I was
what do you guys
I'm
smoke?
sipping
Newports?
Spears.
Marlboro's,
Marlboro Reds.
Spears.
Yeah.
spirits.
All right, so I want to go back to the generation stuff. We're all part of Gen Z. You guys are pretty much out the door. You guys are 24. I think it's like from age 9 to 24.
Oh, shit.
So
we're like
what
the
do you,
last-
what do you guys think the problem is with our generation? Because my dad, he's a boomer, right? I'm sure your dad is too, right? He's
Yeah,
a boomer.
yeah.
Bro, the boomers are always chirping at us.
I know, man.
That's when you know you suck. 'Cause
I
the
think-
boomers are hard ass workers. They really are.
That's just the difference. They're
Like, what's
just
up
they're,
with that?
Well, honestly, let's be
I
completely
take
honest.
offense to it, bro.
No, I don't.
I really do.
Let's be completely honest. They're from a different generation. They're cut from a different cloth. Like kids with their problems today, if
Yeah.
they were living back then,
Fucking give him a crack.
yeah, bro.
Like, what the fuck are you
honestly,
talking about?
The
Get the
fucking
fuck out of
boomers,
here.
they got a point. They come from a hard fucking time
Yeah.
compared to us, bro.
Oh yeah. But the same thing with us. Like, I mean, we did have
we
COVID.
do too.
You know, we did have COVID.
We come from like
I-
that was the easiest shit. But I'm just saying.
It's crazy though because back then, like the internet and all these other things didn't exist.
Yeah.
So the only way of life is like, all right, you went to school, you went whatever. A lot of back then people didn't go to college. It was you went to school, now you go to work.
Yeah.
Now you go to work, and all
Life
these
was
people
simple.
know is
Life
work.
was
I mean,
very
the thing is, back in 2020, like we didn't really give a shit. We were playing video games,
If you
living it
got
up.
you
That
know,
shit
But the
changed
young,
everything.
but the young kids, it fucked them up.
Nah,
It really did.
the
'Cause
pandemic.
they had to wear a mask
yeah.
in
The
class, bro.
pandemic
They're 10 years
changed.
old.
The pandemic changed fucking everything.
You
Yeah.
know, you got an old school parent when on a day off they can't sit still. They're still like in the yard doing whatever. That's exactly.
That's my dad. He
what
comes home from the
dad-
union.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when I told you he works
You
for.
know?
And then he's on the tractor. Fucking 2 minutes later with a Corona.
And,
It's like,
and you got people like
dude,
they're like,
how do you do that?
Yeah.
He's like 59. Yeah.
But when those
That's
type of
63,
people
it's
see,
63.
when those
Yeah.
type of people see
That's
somebody
insane.
go after college, like Sebastian said in that skit, I'm gonna go backpacking through Europe
Yeah.
and find myself in 3 years and then see what happens. They're like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's a different time now. I
Yeah.
guess, you know what I mean?
I mean, dude, you got guys like Dana White, you know, calling us all pussies. Like, it's like I like Dana White, but it's like, dude, if a guy's saying that with that platform, like, I'm not trying to suck him off, but like, you kind of know, like, we kind of suck in a way, you know.
I mean, I think our generation just a lot of them are fucking soft, bro. Nobody,
Yeah.
everybody complains.
Well, that starts with the parents. It really
It does, but it also comes down to taking responsibility
as yourself as an individual. You learn that as you get older. Like
Yeah.
you can't blame everybody for as long, for the rest of your life. You got to take some accountability and move forward only if you're ready to do so and you're able to do so. Because that's the only progress that we make.
Yeah, I think it's the moms though. Do you guys call them helicopter moms too? Staten Island.
No.
Moms?
The moms, yeah, they're called helicopter moms here in
What's
Long
that?
Island.
What's that mean?
So it means like if Johnny like left his lunch at home, and the mom's gonna go to the school and bring him his lunch.
Oh yeah, no, not in
Yeah.
Staten Island.
You guys don't do that?
I mean,
That's what happens here, and that's why the kids are soft. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if that was my kid, I'd be like, dude, like,
everyone's
this
too
kid's in
coddled.
Africa that haven't eaten in like 3 days. Like, dude, you can not eat your lunch. You know, it's like you're not gonna die.
Why do people
But that's the
are
thing. The
coddled?
parent, yeah, the moms will bring Johnny the lunch, right? And then he's gonna do it the next day, right? Because he got away with it. He's like, oh, my mommy brought me my lunch, so I can do it again.
So
And that's
not-
when the
yeah.
dad should come into place and be like, no, that kid's gonna freaking not eat today, and he'll learn tomorrow. And then he's not gonna forget his
A
lunch.
lot of kids got to learn.
That's
the
the
hard
problem
way.
with our generation.
Yeah.
They're all fucking
You
pussies.
know this
man.
when you do
They really are.
the biggest
100%.
discipline back then, like okay, sometimes people discipline back then was a little harder, was a little out of line, but like there's certain things you got to teach your kids and you got to teach these kids because if not, that's what you're seeing is a lot of these young teenagers today, they don't really have a lot of respect.
No.
Especially in school,
Well, the thing
and
is,
shit, a
they're
lot of
getting,
teachers and shit are getting
they're getting
abused.
everything handed down to them.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's really not their
There's no
fault. It's their
there's no
parents' fault.
consequences for their actions.
You know what it is,
You
bro?
can't
I
blame the
personally
kid though.
think
Think
it
about
is-
it. You can't blame the kid.
I think it's social media, bro. Social media made everybody portray a fake life on the internet, and back then it wasn't no social media. You had a problem, you seen somebody handle it. Now people talk shit, they don't get held accountable for their words, and everybody like a lot of these kids just need slaps. These little kids,
Yeah.
these 15, 16-year-old little punks running around, they need a slap.
Yeah.
Like an old-fashioned smack.
You know what it is, bro? They
Something with the gabagool.
No, just
these,
a back.
these kids are shot. They're like, "I'll get you shot." This, that. Like, it's like relax.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's like I think
Yeah,
all
no, these kids really got
kids-
to be put in place.
They should
Especially
do-
these little
They should,
middle schoolers.
they
you
should
know?
join a martial arts gym, get humbled, and see what life really is.
Yeah, I
about.
think that's a big
I
point.
think that'd be pretty.
A lot of
cool.
these kids think they're gangster, they can fight, but when it comes to you one-on-one against another man on a mat where you both fighting,
Yeah.
one
They're
to
gonna
beat
fold.
the other,
They're gonna
you're
fold.
gonna get your ass whooped and realize
Yeah.
you're not tough. You're the opposite of tough.
Yeah.
But certain people could accept
They want-
that
they think
and
they're
want to
tough
learn
guys,
it,
yeah.
or certain people want to say, "Oh, no, that'll never happen again." Be in denial and carry that with the rest of their life, saying it doesn't work.
So, I mean, I want to ask you guys too. What's it called? So, as far as like discipline, right? We were just talking about that. Do you think going to the gym every single day, you know, say someone's doing that, for instance, right, and someone else isn't, would that make that person more successful in life?
I mean,
I would say it makes it more disciplined in life because you
Yeah.
carry yourself differently. You feel better Because now every time I leave the gym after getting a pump in, I feel fucking phenomenal.
Right.
You know what I
The
mean?
thing is, though, it's not, you know, the whole concept is discipline.
I just
You
think
know,
it's
like,
like
at an interview, you know, they should be like, what's your daily routine like? Then that person says, oh, I'm going to the gym for 5 hours every day. I'm doing this every day. I'm going to hire that guy right in the spot because it shows that he's consistent,
You need
he's
reliability,
dedicated,
too.
and he can get the job done at the end of the day. And that's the guy you want on your team.
You know,
Think about it, right?
it's-
Am I
it's
wrong?
like,
Well, if you're in shape and
It
it's
doesn't have to be in the
visible-
gym, just
no,
show
well,
consistency.
Just on that topic. If you're like in shape and you look like you're in the gym, like we all look like we lift a little bit of weights. You just look like you're more disciplined off rip. Because it looks like, all right, it's important to you to make sure you hit the gym and maintain your body every day. You're gonna show up for
you know
work.
what it is, but nobody could give you that. Like, you know,
You gotta
that's,
earn that.
that's earned. And on top of that, it's like it shows that you know you go that extra mile, and it's just good. Like especially when people suffer from like anxiety, especially this generation and shit. Even though I get anxiety attacks too. When I go to the gym, I fucking work through it. I feel so much better than when I leave. And
It's
like not
like
even
free
on my
medicine,
mind.
right?
It's-
The gym?
it's
Yeah.
It's like
literally
I don't even do it for
medication.
physical.
Like, dude, if you think
I
you have to
do
go
it
to the
for
doctor,
mental,
go
bro.
to the gym for like a week.
I do it for the mental.
Seriously.
I really don't
Yeah.
care about the physical. I'm not trying to be like Schwarzenegger walking around. Like I do it for the mental.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? And it keeps you like healthy. So it's like whatever.
Definitely.
But yeah.
That's why we love to do jujitsu, box, and shit.
Yeah, it keeps you on sheet.
Because you can only lift weights to do the same routine as many times as you want. With martial arts, you could always learn something, I feel.
Yeah.
So it's like you could never stop progressing in a sense.
Yeah, there's always something to learn. It's not like it just can be constant. But yeah, man, we gotta stop pulling up to Long Island, man.
Dude, yeah, you have to. I mean, dude, we have Top Golf like 5 minutes away, the casino.
Wow.
So next time you guys are out here, we'll do like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Sure.
I like this. It's a
Definitely.
nice area, very nice area. Long
I'll-
Island,
I got
too.
pulled to Staten Island too. You guys gotta show me around. 'Cause
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't been there for, you know, probably a while.
Come through, man. Whenever
Definitely.
we're scheduled free.
You
It's
guys
very
hang
rare,
out with
but-
Kuji a lot and Mo,
Yeah.
Mark Bucano.
Good friends.
You guys hang out a lot.
Yeah, I know
Kuji's
them.
funny, man. He really is.
I know them. They're good guys. They're
Yeah.
really good guys.
You guys see yourself like doing work with them in the future a lot? Or
Yeah, I mean, we've done a
lot of
bunch of.
collabs?
We have a collab with
I like the
Mo.
Boston one. That was fun. You guys destroyed freaking those two guys from Boston.
Yeah, we always
You
do
guys
it with
lit
them.
them up. That was funny.
We have a collab with Mo this Saturday. We got to do a gig with him.
You really?
It's next Saturday.
Oh, it's next Saturday?
It's 5th. Right?
Yeah, so there you go. Next Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday's the 29th.
I know you guys are Giants fans. You see Barkley just signed?
So
That was
I'm
big.
Andrew Thomas,
Yeah.
5
Yes,
years.
dude. I was so. This dude Barkley's my favorite player.
It's the
You
best.
know, I like Jones too, obviously. You know, that sounds cliche, but you know.
Yeah, I like
I
Jones
love
too.
Dimes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? I mean, if you're a Giants fan,
Like
you've seen
QB.
how much he
Now,
does.
who's the running back we got again?
Eric Gray
Dude, that was
Yeah.
and
big.
James Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. That's who it was. Yeah, yeah. So now we have Robinson and Barkley, two tandem.
And Breida.
That's good, because it takes off touches from Barkley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
you can only give
You
give
need a tandem
Saquon
now.
200
Yeah.
carries and like
I want
80
them to
targets.
throw more
Yeah,
passes
exactly.
to him. Throw like
Yeah,
more
he's gonna
checkdowns.
definitely get more receivers.
You guys know Victor Butetto too?
Yeah, I know.
Potatoes,
Vic. I don't
yeah.
know him personally.
He
but
does all the Giants and Yankees.
He's funny,
He's
yeah,
funny, yeah.
He's hysterical.
Funny guy.
He's
He's
great.
fucking hysterical.
But yeah, hopefully the Giants can make the playoffs again.
Yeah,
You
man.
know?
Them and the Yanks. We'll see.
I was scared though, because you know the problem with all the running backs now, they all want to bag like the
They want a
receivers.
bag, yeah, but they're not valuable. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ezekiel
But the
Elliott's
thing
not
is
on
though,
the team.
you know with the Giants you need Saquon to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the problem with
Certain
us.
running backs are valuable.
That's crazy though.
Others
Two
aren't.
years ago, you're telling me Zeke Fournette and
Kareem Hunt.
and Dalvin aren't on the team.
And
right now.
Kareem Hunt would be on an NFL
And
team.
J.D. McKissick
Yeah.
and there's a few more too.
How the fuck? Honestly, how is Kareem Hunt not signed? That boggles my
Oh,
mind.
Dalvin, how's
Or
Dalvin,
Dalvin
and
Cook.
Fournette? Zeke too, but Zeke could be a good goal line back. Like
Dalvin
not
Cook
one,
being
but
free
two,
agent
like-
still is honestly mind-boggling.
Yeah. I mean the running backs, you know, they're trying to get a bag. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They're
I
not.
mean, they should
I mean,
get
look
paid
at
a little
Look
bit
at
more.
Le'Veon though. He sat out, and then he ruined his career.
Ruined his career.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen in one of them. You'll see.
Yeah. That's why I was so happy. It was like Barkley, like you're the man.
And they're gonna post the
Back now.
workout videos for like 2 years and then make one return, get hurt.
They're gonna be like AB.
Then they're gonna be watched because it'll be a psychological thing at that point.
Yeah. AB was actually partying on in Albany.
Oh, nice.
Is that crazy? Like, bro, this guy was just in the NFL. He's partying with freaking 20-year-olds, bro. Like,
Tony
seriously?
really was part of
Yes.
20-year-olds.
Swear to God.
He's a sick
Fucking
guy.
terrible.
Yeah, right downtown.
That's honestly
He
horrible.
got
Crazy.
CTE.
Oh yeah, he's got something. He's got something wrong with him.
wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
One of the best receivers of all time, but
Yeah. All right, man. I think we covered pretty much about everything.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
it's definitely.
I mean, dude, this is awesome. My first, ever podcast. I really appreciate you guys coming out.
Oh, it was
Thanks
awesome.
for having
Thanks for
us.
having
This
us.
is great. I hope we can, maybe say in December we just get the boys around. We go out to the bar.
Hell yeah,
We
bro.
shoot a podcast in the basement, not in the backyard. It's gonna be we might have like 5 feet of snow.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
don't
cool,
know.
man. But
gonna be
yeah,
pretty
thanks
cool.
for having us, bro. It's
Make it
good.
cool,
You got
man.
your first episode
Yeah,
under your
definitely.
belt.
Yeah, no, I
Congratulations
appreciate
on
it.
your first pod
Thank you,
episode.
man. I really appreciate
And we
it.
hope we wish you the best, man. Anything this episode could do to help.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I can
so.
really see you guys like being my mentors too.
I mean,
You know,
hey, I
we're
appreciate
both-
that, bro.
We're both Italian.
We'd love to help
from New
you out
York
any-
too. We gotta help
yeah.
each other out at the end of the day, you know.
Any way we can, you
Yeah.
know, we'd like to help.
I'd
So,
appreciate that a
yeah,
lot.
man.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, guys. So this episode will be out August 1st. You know, first one. We're gonna try and keep everything raw. You know, I don't want to be like David Dobrik. You know, I'm not gonna cut anything out. But yeah, I just want to be real and authentic with you guys. I don't want to put on a show. You know, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. You got it.
So,
Episode 1.
yeah.
Well.
Yo, awesome fucking good episode, bro.
Yeah,
Really
good
good fucking episode.